Start game now.
Hey look, it's a Mario! Welcome everyone to another edition of the No Swear Gamer. What'd you bring me today, Mario? Oh, Super Mario Bros. 2 from the Retro Junk Box. Yeah, the label has seen better days, but it's still a pretty cool label art. It really stuck out when it came out with the kind of in the clouds kind of background going on. Mario looking nice and happy, and even carrying a little turnip, which definitely has something to do with this game. But let's go ahead and put Super Mario Bros. 2 into my Nintendo Entertainment System and see just how good it holds up today. Let's go to the game. Super Mario 2 is from Nintendo in 1988, and it is a single-player platformer where you have to complete 7 worlds that comprise of 20 total levels. In Japan, there was a different Super Mario Bros. 2 that was released in 1986 that was very familiar to the original Super Mario Bros., except it was much more difficult and it had a few wrinkles thrown in. So what did they do here? Well, Nintendo of America decided that Super Mario Bros. 2 would be too difficult for American audiences, so they took another game called Yumi Kojo Doki Doki Panic from 1987, that was a Famicom Disk game, and they decided to instead insert Super Mario characters instead of the original characters, which had a more of an Arabian flavor to them, sort of like an Aladdin style game. One interesting thing about this is that Shigeru Miyamoto, the famous video game creator who worked on the original Super Mario Bros., actually worked more on Doki Doki Panic than he did on Super Mario Bros. 2 in Japan. So this is more of Shigeru Miyamoto's game. Another interesting thing is Doki Doki Panic actually means kind of a heart-pounding panic, because Doki Doki is the sound that your heart makes. But I also think it would make a good dog name. Here, Doki Doki! Here, Doki Doki! Come on, good Doki Doki! Mario has a dream in Super Mario Bros. 2, and in it he sees a long staircase and a voice asking for help from the evil Wart, who has cursed the land of Subcon. Wart hates veggies, is one other thing they whisper to him right before he wakes up. The next day, him, Luigi, Princess Toadstool, and Toad all decide to take a picnic in the mountains. And while on their picnic, they find a staircase which, surprise, surprise, looked just like the one Mario dreamed about. When they go up to the top and open the door, guess what? They find themselves in the world in a battle against Wart and his minions. One of the cool aspects of the game is that you can select from 4 different characters in the Mario universe. Of course, you have Mario, who's just average all-around guy. You have Luigi, who has a higher floatier jump. You have Princess Toadstool, who has the ability to float temporarily. And Toad, who is the strongest of the characters, so when he carries items, it doesn't affect him like it does the other characters. And also, I believe when you dig in the dirt, and sometimes you do have to dig in the dirt, he can dig a little bit faster. The A button jumps, however, if you hold it down while ducking, your character will begin to glow and you can do a power jump. B throws stuff and pick stuff up, including enemies, which is kind of interesting because in this game, unlike Super Mario Bros. 1, you cannot stomp enemies to death. You have to throw things at them, including other enemies as well. You can also hold down the B button to run faster, just like the original Super Mario Bros. You start out with 3 lives and 2 continues, and you get 2 heart meters, which each live. However, you can find mushrooms to increase your heart meter up to 4 different heart meters. There are various items in Super Mario Bros. 2 that you can use. Of course, you could use the vegetables that Wart hates. You can also use bombs that will blow up different obstacles in your path, and POW blocks, which is a kind of interesting throwback to the original Mario Bros. Arcade game that will defeat all the enemies on the screen at once. You can also collect cherries. If you collect enough, you can get the Superstar, which will make you temporarily invincible, just like the previous game. There are also potions that you can find that are very important in this game, because you see, man lives in a sunlit world of what he believes to be reality, but there is, unseen by most, an underworld, a place that is just as real, but not as brightly lit, a dark side, which if you throw the potion, you can enter into at will. And when you enter into the dark side of the world, you will be able to pull up coins where plants are instead of the vegetables, and you will also be able to find mushrooms sometimes as well that will give you the extra heart. And if you are lucky, you might find a warp access as well, with that. Now, one of the interesting thing about the coins is at the end of levels, you can use them in a slot machine to gain extra lives. I was terrible at this game. I very rarely earn lives, but it is there nonetheless. Now, in several of the levels, you will encounter your regular enemies, and you'll also encounter various kind of birdos. Perhaps one of my favorite bosses in video games. I really have a fun time fighting birdos. Birdos will spit eggs at you, which you have to jump on and throw back at Birdo. You can also throw other objects as well in different battles. However, at the end of some levels, you will actually get different distinct bosses, including a mouser who likes to throw bombs and a three-headed snake, as well as Wart himself. And I think all the bosses look great in this game. Graphically speaking, I really dig this game. It may not be the best looking game on the Nintendo Entertainment System, but I thought it looks pretty good. I really like the design of the characters. And one thing about the design is it really helped introduce how the Mario characters would look even today. Actually, if you ever watched the Mario Brothers Super Show and the cartoon within it, they seem to take a lot of inspiration from Super Mario Brothers 2 as far as the music goes and the character designs as well. So I really wonder what would have happened if we got to Japanese Super Mario Brothers where they looked pretty much the same. I wonder if Luigi would be taller and if we would still have all the distinct differences between Princess Toadstool and Toad himself, if they would look like they do today if it wasn't for this game. So I'm kind of grateful for this game. I like the way the characters looked and I liked how they differentiated them from the first game. I also like all the enemies that are introduced into the Mario world. Some of them would make reappearances in future Mario games, even though some of them would not. And I also liked all the different environments. I really like this. I think this experiment worked well, putting Mario into Doki Doki Panic, and I think it really worked out well for the most part. However, I did notice some slowdown when too many characters were on the screen. Musically speaking, I think this game is a classic on the Nintendo Entertainment System. I think there's a bunch of tunes in here that you will have stuck in your head and you'll be humming afterwards, so great job on the music. On eBay, the prices of this game are a little bit in demand. Loose copies commonly go for in the $15 price range. Complete copies typically go for $30 to $40, so it does cost a little more than you would expect a normal game. Now, over on Facebook, I asked several of you what you thought about this game and how it ranks against the other three. There are several of you who actually thought it was better than numbers 1 and numbers 3. Both Nick, Chad, and this guy all thought that it was the best in the trilogy on the NES, even though this guy did admit that he's not really a big Super Mario Bros. 3 fan. Corey actually thought it was the worst of the three, while Eric thought that 3 was better, but even though he enjoyed number 2 as well. Ross made a comment that he thought it was the best ROM hack of Doki Doki Panic, and the two dudes in the NES thought it was a smart move for Nintendo to bring this over, and I agree with them. I think it definitely was a smart move to bring over Super Mario Bros. 2. I think it's one of those cases where even though it was kind of a mixed-up game, we ended up getting the actual better end of the deal. And later on, Japan would get a copy of our version of Super Mario Bros. 2 called Super Mario USA. So very interesting that they would actually port it back. I thought that was kind of cool. So what did I think of it and where would I rank it? Well, overall, I really enjoyed Super Mario Bros. 2. I really like how it controlled. I thought the challenge level was just great, not too hard, not too easy for my taste. And I really liked the creativity. I really liked exploring a new world with the Mario characters and all their distinct characteristics. So where am I going to rank it? Well, let's go ahead and take it and put it one-on-one against my top game so far, and that is Super Mario Bros. 3. And while I enjoy both games, and on any given day I might go to one over the other, I'm going to have to give Super Mario Bros. 3 a slight edge, because I do like the classic Mario Brothers control, and I really like the overhead world map and all the different paths you can take, as well as the different variety of power-ups that you have in Super Mario Bros. 3, but there might be some days I'd rather play Super Mario Bros. 2, so I don't think you could go wrong either way, and I think if you own a Nintendo Entertainment System and for some reason you haven't played Super Mario Bros. 2, I think you owe it to yourself to check it out. So there you go, that's Super Mario Bros. 2 for your Nintendo Entertainment System, a true classic. If you like videos like this, go ahead and click the like button, and don't forget to subscribe as well. You can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Just go to either one and search for The No Swear Gamer. Anyways, guys, thank you for giving me a little part of your day, and I look forward to seeing you next time right here. Take care, everybody.